Did you know that everybody is you pushed out? We're going to talk about that today on Awakening with Amy. Hi, welcome. I'm Amy Valentine, certified life coach, hoping to awaken within you a mindset that you can be, do, and have any desire. And today we're going to talk about Neville Goddard's Everybody is You Pushed Out, what it means, what it doesn't mean, so you can literally empower yourself to create what you desire. So before we hop into the video, I wanted to just say once again that I have this journal I created. It's for sale on Amazon. It's a line journal for you to write in your affirmations, write in anything you would like. So I'll leave a link in the video description below if you are interested. So, okay. Everybody is you pushed out. Well, let's start with what it's not. It does not mean that you are other people or other people are you. Or if somebody shows up in your life and like yells at you or is nasty to you, that means you're a nasty person. No. What it means is at the basis, like all the spiritual teachers say, we're all one, meaning I and the Father are one, but the Father is greater than I. So there's this universal consciousness, right? Super conscious. And we're all individual sparks of that one consciousness. So we're all an individualized version of source energy, of God, whatever. That's why they say that it's within you. That's what the Gospel of Thomas, those parts of the Bible that were left out or edited out, like Greg Braden talks about so beautifully. The Gospel of Thomas showed us how we're connected to everything and everything. And that's everybody is you pushed out. That's what everybody is you pushed out really means. Our connection to everything and everyone in our life experience comes from within us, within a story. And it's a complicated mix, right? Stuff we know, stuff we don't know. So it's not about trying to figure out the mix. It's just understanding the dynamics of how that energy works, that we're all connected. And if you're experiencing something, there's something in that person or that circumstance that's resonant with you. Like attracts like. Birds of a feather flock together. So if somebody is being mean to you, that doesn't mean that you're a mean person. That means you have an assumption or a belief within yourself that people are mean. And sometimes it's not even that literal. Sometimes it could just be like, some kind of belief in there that, oh God, there's nasty people all over the place. But you don't know you consciously believe that. So just use this as a way to create your own reality. That's the key. Number one to do with this concept is to embrace your connection to everything. Embrace the oneness, that nothing can exert itself into your life experience without your focus and attention, whether you know you're doing it or not. Like Abraham Hicks says, like the buffet example, this is such a great example. She says, well, when you're at the buffet, you just put the stuff on your plate that you want to eat and you leave everything else. That broccoli that you don't want to eat isn't jumping off the buffet and landing on your plate. No, it only can get on your plate if you invite it on there with your attention and focus. So the key is to just let everything be and pick from the duality, right? Meaning when we fight what we don't want, or we fight the aspects of others or circumstances that we don't like, we're literally fighting with our own creations. We don't even know we're doing it. Every fight is a fight fight within our own consciousness, because everything is one. Nothing can create something foreign of itself, right? It's like, that's like the oak tree. Within that acorn is an oak tree. It's not something else. Its consciousness is, I'm an oak tree. Even when it's that tiny little acorn. Just like in the Bible, it says, faith of a mustard seed. What did that mean? That meant that mustard seed had absolute faith in, I am a mustard seed. And that's what grows into the mustard plant, that self-conviction, that inner conviction. Neville has a quote, it's so good. Every mood or attitude, every mood within me everyone I meet reflects a mood within me. God, excuse me. Everyone I meet reflects a mood within me. I had to look at my cheat sheet. So that's what he's saying, that, and think about it. Every thought, every mood, every feeling is fleeting. So it doesn't really matter. It only matters to become aware of this. Embrace your connection to everyone and everything in your world and come from it from that higher perspective that I get to choose what I want to put my focus and energy on. That's everybody as you pushed out. Because nobody can show up in your world without your agreement to it. So if you're saying somebody is avoiding you or somebody's ghosting you, that's because you have a story about them in your consciousness and they have to reflect that belief back to you. So if you don't like the way somebody's showing up in your life or something that you're experiencing in your life, the key is to change your relationship with it. Change your perception of it. And as soon as you start to be lifted in consciousness and say, I am loved, I am adored, I am enough, then all that counter junk that's been laying dormant that you didn't know was there is going to rise up. Just be aware of that everything in infinity exists. So our key is to transcend it, to just let it all be there, like the buffet, and choose from it. Neville has a lecture, and he talks about everybody as you pushed out, and he uses this as an example. And I'm intending that you get the message through this example. It's really, really powerful. A woman came to him after one of his lectures and said, Neville, I've been told my entire life that I'm abnormal. And she said, I don't know what to do with that. And I adopted a little girl 4 years ago, and she will not speak. And when she does use her words, it's all garbled. I can't understand what she's saying. And I would really love for you to treat her. And Neville says, no, I will not treat her. He said, you're holding a story, an assumption within yourself that you are abnormal, and it's showing up, reflecting back to you in your daughter not speaking. He said, so. She said, well, should I say I am not abnormal? He says, no, the universe doesn't hear the word no. This is what you say. He says, I am perfectly normal. And she said, well, Neville, I don't believe that. He said, it doesn't matter if you believe it. Everything is a self-persuasion. Whether you know it or not, everything's a self-fulfilling prophecy. What your experience is what you believe to be true about yourself in relationship to everything else in your world. So he told her, persist in the end of your wish fulfilled, which is to no longer see yourself as abnormal. Tell yourself every day, I am perfectly normal. So the next time she went to Neville, she said, Neville, I started to practice. I am perfectly normal, until I had that feeling that something within me shifted and said, well, yes, I am perfectly normal. And she said, nothing in my outer world shifted yet, but I took my daughter to the doctor. I'm tearing up. And the doctor said to me, there's nothing wrong with your child. She is perfectly normal. That doctor reflected back her new reality, her new state of consciousness within herself. And this is how powerful everybody is you pushed out. It's not about trying to change or control the outside world or the people and circumstance. She didn't go try and change her daughter. No, she changed herself, her consciousness of herself and of her daughter and everything else. And that's how you do it. You take action from that perspective of the higher you that sees you only as perfection. You are perfect. And if anything less than perfect is showing up, meaning what you prefer in your life, it's because you have a story around it that you could ever be unfulfilled. And it's just a story. It's like the buffet. You don't have to choose it. So choose higher, choose love. Course in Miracles says everything is an extension of love or a cry for help. And everybody as you pushed out will show you where you're being loving and where it's a cry for help. So take that as just test it as a nod to be like, wait a minute, I'm going to test this for myself and see and be the neutral observer. Neville talks about that a lot, is to just be the neutral observer and test it. Don't just suspend your judgment or any resistance and test it out for yourselves. Because nothing can show up in your experience if you're not in some way resonating with it. And the good news is everything is just right now. The universe is only responding to you now, what you're putting your focus and attention on repeatedly now. So persist in your wish fulfilled. Persist in your own love, your perfection, and the perfection of everything and everything else. Fight against nothing. And tell yourself, my connection to everything in my world is based upon my perception. And when I shift my perception and come from my higher place of love and fulfillment, then everything is going to have a different reflection. It has to. It's everybody as you pushed out. And that's what it means. So embrace it. Embrace your connection with it all and choose what you desire to experience. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. And until next time, have a wonderful day.